Hi guys, and welcome to Zozo Cooks Keto. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a beautiful keto broccoli bacon quiche. Let's get started. For our quiche base, we're going to need 1 ounce of pork rinds, 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese, 50 grams of Asiago, 50 grams of mozzarella, 2 tablespoons of finely grated Parmesan, 2 tablespoons of almond flour, 2 large eggs, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now we're going to pop our pork rinds into a food processor and break them down. Until they form a fine powder. In a large bowl, add the cream cheese along with 2 eggs. Blend until mostly incorporated. As you can see, my cream cheese was still a little too cold, which is why we have some lumps. It's not going to affect the final dish, but had the cheese been a little warmer, it would have been much easier to mix it in with the eggs. Add the Asiago, the mozzarella, almond flour, Parmesan, and garlic powder. Mix really well. Finally, we're going to stir in those pork rinds. They're going to soak up any excess liquid that we have in our base, and we're going to set it aside to firm up. For this recipe, I recommend using a loose bottom pie pan, as it does not work well with a regular pie dish. Now grease your pan very well. It will make a big difference when it's time to removing it from the pan. I'm using a spray, but this can certainly be done with butter or any other type of oil. Spoon a little more than half your dough mixture into the center of the pan. Using plastic wrap, you're going to press that mixture down and push it out until you get an even base, making sure that the edges are nicely filled in. Next, remove the plastic wrap, and using a spatula, you're going to scrape some of our mixture along the very top edge of the pan. I find this is a much easier way of controlling the thickness of the crust along the edges. Cover with the plastic wrap again, then push down and in while firmly holding the wrap on the outside of the tin. This will allow the mixture to flow up, but not over the edge. Check the inside edge for thick spots and even them out. You really want a defined line of where the base and the wall meet. Finally, run your finger along the top edge of the pie tin and wipe away any excess dough. This not only tidies up the crust, but also removes some of the mix that may cause the crust to stick to the pan. Now pop the crust into the freezer for 15 minutes and preheat your oven to 425 Fahrenheit. Before we make our filling, we're going to blind bake our chilled crust. Take some parchment paper, crumple it up really well until it's quite flexible. Place it on top of the pie shell, and now we're going to weigh it down so it doesn't puff up during baking. You can use pie weights if you have them, but if not, you can also use rice, beans, or what I'm using here, which is dried chickpeas. Just note that whatever you use will most likely not be edible after this. You'll need to spread them out and then gently press them down so the weight fits nice and snug. Time to bake! Our crust is done. Before removing the weights, take a plate and gently press down. I like to do this because even though we've weighted this, the dough can still puff up a little. It also helps create a texture closer to a regular pie crust. Gently remove the parchment paper and voila! Perfect keto pie crust. For our quiche filling, you'll need 1 cup of half and half, 2 large eggs, 5 slices of chopped streaky bacon, 6 ounces of broccoli florets, a dash of nutmeg, along with some salt and pepper. In a large skillet, cook the bacon down until most of the fat is rendered. This should take a few minutes. Once done, scoop it out and then pop the broccoli in. We'll saute them for around 5 minutes. Make sure to keep them moving around so you don't brown them too much. The wonderful thing about using broccoli florets is they capture so much flavor. For our quiche custard, we're going to whisk the half and half, eggs, and spices in a large bowl, preferably without it getting everywhere. Let's assemble our quiche. Add the broccoli, the bacon, and top with 3 ounces of Gouda. Pour in your egg mixture and then bake for 30 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So as to not burn the edges, protect them with either a pie crust cover or some foil. And here it is. To remove it from the tin, I'm going to rest it over a bowl, and if it is well greased, it should just pop right out. Oh, and there you go. Check out that crust. Beautiful color and firm enough to hold its shape. The macros are 47 grams of fat, 1.5 grams of fiber, 7 grams of total carbs, and 31.5 grams of protein. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This quiche is absolutely delicious, Charles. Seriously.